The 4W fishing team is touring the Black Cowboy Museum. You know, we always wanted to be a cowboy growing up. Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
Willard Franklin with the 4W fishing team. Tell us where we are today and tell us all about yourself.
All right, we're in Rosenberg, Texas.
Rosenberg, Texas.
Before I start talking, my name is Larry Callis. I used to be a country and western singer. George Strait's manager was my manager at one time in the 80s. I lost my voice. I have some golf vocal dysphonia. This is why I talk like I do.
Yes.
But I know when God closes one door, he opens up another one. And he's opened up this museum for me right here in Rosenberg, Texas. It's called the Black Cowboy Museum.
The Black Cowboy Museum.
Yes.
In Rosenberg, Texas. I just found out about you today.
Okay.
I stopped my train. I said, I'm coming over there.
All right. Well, I'm glad you did.
Wow.
And it's a museum that I'm the only black cowboy museum in the world. And
Wow.
God asked me to open this museum 2 years ago. And I said, God, why you want me to open up a museum? I can't even talk. He said, have faith. And I don't regret anything that's happened.
Wow. And I hear you have busloads of kids.
Yes, I've had 67 busloads of people come to my museum. I've had about 20 busloads of kids come here.
Wow. Wonderful.
So-
Wonderful. Wonderful. One of the biggest things, I learned a lot just by, I thank you for having us here today. But one of the things that I thought was most interesting was your display of the badges you have on.
The badges,
Can you
yeah,
tell us a little bit about that?
that's some badges that was donated to me by a friend of mine. And here's some badges that people have never seen. They've seen Marshal, Sheriff, Texas Ranger, but have you ever seen this badge?
Wait a minute. It says Plantation Police, Georgetown County, South Carolina. Runaway Slave Patrol. You're kidding me.
This is the badge that started the rest of the badges.
Wait a minute.
In 1858, that's when this badge was made.
Tell us a little, that's crazy.
That's history, man.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That's history that people have never seen told. I'm 66 years old, and I just heard about this a year ago.
Wow. I'm going to read it again. It says Plantation Police, Georgetown County, 1858.
1858.
South Carolina, Runaway Slave Patrol.
They had to have a badge to go get the slaves that ran off.
Wow.
Just anybody couldn't go get a slave.
Okay.
You had to have a badge. Then they started having a badge for bad people. They had to have a U.S. Marshal or sheriff or a Texas Ranger, and this is the one that started everything.
So before that one says City Marshal, Texas Ranger, but first they started in the U.S. with that.
With the
I'll be damned. That's
slaves.
That's wow.
We always starting something, even if we want to or not.
Wow. That's. I just and you have quite a few really wonderful things here, but that to me it should be.
Wow.
So 1858.
1858.
That really wasn't that long ago.
No. It was a girl came in, and she was a white lady 2 days ago. She came in, and I was explaining this. She actually had tears in her eyes.
Wow. That's amazing. History here.
Right.
Rosenberg, Texas.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
That's it.
Wow.
There's a lot of history right
That's
here
a
in
lot of
Rosenberg. Now, the next history I'd like to share with you is about the cowboy.
Okay.
Do you know where the cowboy came from?
Well, for me, I'm 55. I grew up watching westerns.
Western.
Cowboys.
They were all white, right? That's the way I grew
That's
up.
all I remember. That's all they
Yeah.
ever showed on television.
That's all they ever showed was white cowboys.
Because
But
I
do-
have a question too, but go ahead, let me hear.
But do you know the word cowboy came from slaves? They had a houseboy, a yard boy, and somebody worked the cows. He was called the cowboy.
Okay.
That's where the word came from.
Wow.
And they came from right here in Fort Bend County. Do we move over here?
Okay, so, wow. Tell us a little bit about this photograph.
Okay, this is a photograph from the George Ranch. The George Ranch was given to the Georges from Stephen F. Austin in 1820, 1825.
Wow.
Right in that area.
Right in that area.
Yeah. When they came to the George Ranch, the Jones Ranch, it was slaves. Mm-hmm. They wasn't supposed to have slaves back in those days. So they called them indentured servants.
Indentured servants.
But they were really slaves.
Okay.
And they were all black. And they taught them how to ride horses. And they were cowboys. They were the first American cowboys.
Wow.
And the word cowboys came from right here in Fort Bend County. They had a houseboy, a yard boy, and somebody worked cows.
We're in Fort Bend County.
Yeah, this is where it came from. This is where it came from.
The origination, and I black cowboy hat, and I wear boots and drive a pickup truck. Wow.
But you didn't know the word cowboy came from right here in Fort Bend County.
Wow.
Because they were the first cowboys.
Wow, I'm glad I came out today.
Okay, and you see the white guy in here?
Right there? Mm-hmm.
That's Mr. Jones, his son. That's Thomas Jones.
Okay.
Henry Jones settled the Jones Ranch in 1825.
1825.
He had about 40 slaves. Then he had a son named Henry Jones. He worked with the cowboys, but he didn't want to be called a cowboy because that was a slave name. Okay. He wanted to be called a cowhand.
Okay. These cowhands worked for the Jones Ranch.
Yep. And he didn't want to be called a cowboy, so they had to call him a cowhand. Wow. A white man in Texas knew where that word came from. He said, "I'm not your boy." You know what they called him? "Hey, you're a cowboy." "No, I'm not a cowboy. I'm a cowhand."
Okay, wow.
Until it started being famous on TV.
On TV, you know,
then,
John Wayne
and all those guys. Wow. They didn't know about Texas
down in California
calling them a cowboy were black. So in California, they accepted being called a cowboy.
Wow. Who knew?
Yeah. It's a...
Wow.
You learn something every day.
Every day. Wonderful. Okay.
All right, I'm going to give you a little history on the saddles. This is a saddle from 1872. It's a woman's saddle. You see, it's soft. It was made in Waco, Texas in 1872. Now, this saddle here is designed from the saddles that they had in Africa. Do you know where the first saddles came from? They came from Africa. They were built for military. What had happened was the Moorish Africans in 700 invaded Spain. And they were riding these saddles. And they were riding horses. Right here you see the Spanish Mustang and the Long Way Home. This, when the Moorish Africans invaded Spain, they were riding these desert horses. Now they called the Mustangs. Spain went down into Africa and acquired these horses from the Africans. And they started breeding them. They had the best breeds in the world. And when the Moorish Africans invaded Spain, Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan heard about what they did. They wanted these horses. So they went into Spain and acquired these horses. And you know what they did? Everything was inspired from the Africans. They acquired the saddles from Spain, but they were really saddles from Africa. And also the bridles and the stirrups and everything that came from Africa. When they went down into Spain to acquire these horses, they wanted, stay right there, They saw, oh, let me get back over here. They saw some Watusi bulls in the desert.
So Watusi.
Watusi, this is called a Watusi. It's a bull from Africa.
Who's that guy on top of it?
Well, that's nobody. But anyway, they had a bull in Africa called Watusi.
Those some horns on that thing.
Yes, the horns were used to store water.
Wow.
That's how these longhorns or Watusis could live in the desert. So when Spain saw these Watusis, they wanted the Watusis to breed to their cattle in Spain. And when they bred them to their cattle in Spain, they came up with the Longhorns.
Wait a minute. The Longhorns not originally from Texas?
No. They're from Spain, but they're originally from Africa. When they bred their cattle, they came out as Longhorns. Christopher Columbus brought them over here in 1493. He first brought the horses. Everybody thinks the horses came from Spain, but the original horses was already here in America. A guy by the name of O.C. Marsh in 1870 found some bones in Nebraska, and he always thought it was a horse, but he couldn't prove it. But in 2009, they took a DNA testing on his bones, and they found out it was a horse.
Wow.
And that's what they call the Spanish Mustang and the Longhorn. See, they were already here.
Wow.
People didn't know that. They thought Christopher Columbus brought the horses over here. He did, but they were here.
The originals.
In 35 million years ago. Talk about my cousin, Tex Williams. Tex was the first black to ride in the white rodeo in Texas in 1967. He didn't just ride in the rodeo, he won the rodeo. He was a champion all around in 1967. Guess who was the champion all around, or the champion in 1971?
Wonder what we're looking at.
I was the second black to make the state finals in high school.
Wow.
And this is my claim to fame right here. Right here, the state finals. You can see in the buyback riding, Larry Callis hung up for Texas, 1971.
Wow.
And I didn't win it, but I made the state finals.
One.
A paper that was put out in 1967, Tex Williams was the state champion in El Campo, Texas. And this is his buckle in 1967, and he was the state champion in 1968. But what people didn't know about Tex, he was riding when he was 15 years old in the black rodeos. And he was the champion in 1964. And he was the champion in 1965 and a champion in 1966. Then, in 1967, he thought he would get in a white rodeo. They didn't know how good Tex was. When Tex first got on his horse in 1967, he pulled his hat down on his head. He come out, and he was spurring, and you could hear the rowels. And Tex was so good that everybody got up in the audience and started clapping. And 5 seconds into his ride, Tex's hat blew off. Tex had nappy hair. The applause went from this to boo, boo. But he was so good, the judges gave him a fair score, and he won it. Like I say, he won in 67, 68. Tex was the champion. Tex even started riding when he got older. After he got back from Vietnam, he started riding again, and he was a champion in the Old Timers Association in 1998. Tex Williams champion, 1998. Tex is still roping.
How old is that? How long ago was that picture?
This picture was 8 months ago.
What?
That's me and Tex Williams roping at a friend's house in Needville. Wade Clayton. Tex is still riding and roping in professional rodeo.
Don't mess with Tex.
He's 70 years old now. In 1998 or 2018, he went to the finals in Vegas. He won a 5th in the team. So Tex is still riding. All right, I'm going to tell you the story about Bass Reeves. Bass Reeves was a U.S. Marshal in the 1800s. He was the first black U.S. Marshal. When Bass Reeves was born in 1838, he moved from Tennessee to Texas, and he was 15 years old. He had a problem with his master, so he hit him and knocked him out, and jumped on the master's horse and rode to Oklahoma. He lived with the Indians for 20 years. They taught him all the territory in Oklahoma, and they taught him all the territory in Texas. So he was free back in the day. Then in 1865, when they freed slaves, he came back to Oklahoma and he wanted to be a U.S. Marshal. They told him he had to know how to read. He said he had a good memory. They tested him out, and in his time, he captured 3,000 convicts in his lifetime. Then they started telling stories about him. They started writing songs about him. One guy got on the radio in 1933, and he told the story about the Lone Ranger, and that was Bass Reeves. He would say he rode a white horse. Bass Reeves rode a white horse. They said he had an Indian friend. He had a bunch of Indian friends. They say he would ride. I'm going to tell you the story of the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger rides again. That was 1933. They didn't have TV. They just had the radio. People would sit and listen. And for a year, nobody ever called in on it. But one guy called in. He said, "Hey, who was the Lone Ranger?" The guy said, "Well, he was a black man." He had 1,000 calls saying they wouldn't going to listen to his radio station anymore. He said, "Why?" He said, "Because you said the Lone Ranger was a black man." He got to thinking he didn't want to lose his audience. He said, No. I said he wore a black mask." And that's why the Lone Ranger on TV had to be a white man with a black mask. Because they knew they wasn't going to accept him as a black man. If they couldn't accept him on the radio as a black man, you know they wasn't going to accept him on TV. And that's why you've never seen a black cowboy on TV in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and some of the 70s.
Hi, I'm Wanda Franklin with the 4W's fishing team, of course. And I'm here with Cowboy Larry.
Yes.
Trying to find out how we get hide for turn into leather or leather turn into hide. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, how we get leather from cowhide.
Okay.
All right, this is a cowhide. And what's underneath it is rawhide.
Oh.
This is soft. When you put the cow down and it's taken off, it's soft.
Oh, okay.
Then it hardens up after it dries. And this is what you call cowhide. You put this in water. How this was first made was from the cavemen.
Oh, okay.
They would kill their animal and they put the hide out in the yard.
Okay.
And the yard would be wet. And it'll stay wet for about 6 months. And the leaves would fall off the trees. and something inside the leaves
Sort of like a
would
sap.
cure the rawhide. It would turn it into leather. It would soften it.
Oh, wow.
And that's how you get the leather, the leather from the rawhide.
Oh, wow.
It would thicken up because it was in water, and it would make the
So it
leather
would go from this little thin thing to this.
to this thing.
Oh, wow.
Then,
Not that.
no, not this. Some people would throw this away, but people in the cave, they would wear it. And they would wear it because it was warm. So they used every part of the cow or the hide.
Eat it, wear it.
Yeah,
Okay.
eat it, wear it. Okay, now the cowboy came later and he wanted to decorate this. You would get it wet. He would want to put his initial. If his name started with a T, he would put that, tap it, and you would have the
That looked like what
Tea.
you used to do.
Well, tell everybody how you met your husband.
Oh, I met my husband at Astro World.
What was he doing?
He was doing the same thing that Cowboy Larry is doing, putting initials and onto leather.
And you,
Selling stuff.
and you came and looked at him every day. Because he was so good looking.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, you could also put some designs.
Oh,
You
those
just tap it, and you put a design. And if you wanted a walnut, you put a walnut.
Wow.
wow.
Isn't that cool? That's the way you decorate your leather.
Oh, that's neat. I really like that.
Then they came up with a sewing machine. I have a sewing machine from 1920. I'm going to show you how they used to sew. All right, this machine is from 1920. This is an old Singer. It was built in 1920, and it still works. Well, actually, when I first got it, they wanted to sell me as a machine. And I said, it doesn't work. They said, well, you can have it, Larry, because we can't get it to work. Well, after a week or two, I was working on it. I got this old machine to work. And it still sews. See, it still works. And this is what I sold some of my saddles with. It's still a good old machine. And this is how I sew my saddles. Whenever I have some saddles somebody needs repairing, this is what I do it on.